What's going on, dudes? Jason here. Haven't done a video in a long time, but I figured that I would do this video because I like to take a look at things like this. You know, I've gotten all the guns diamond now. I have all diamond primaries. I didn't mean to say all guns because I haven't done any of the secondaries, but I'm just talking about primaries today. Just finished up tonight. I got the S12 and the M1216, I believe it is. Those last two shotguns gold tonight, so I'm finally done. I finally made it. I guess I can start working on some of the secondaries now, but I think what I'm actually going to do is you know, prestige all my weapons this 2 times and get all the way through and unlock the attachments again before I start worrying about secondaries. And by no means is this video a representative of the entire community. This is just to look at my one player, you know, just one player out of everybody stats and kind of looking at it. But I'm going to kind of toss some of my thoughts in on gun balance and things like that, because people have been saying since this game came out about how ridiculous the submachine guns are, and you can see the only one in this top like 15 list of mine is the Peacekeeper. And I actually have a second page, like I'm going to go through and show you the last page, but this is just as big as I could make the page where I felt like you could read it pretty clear. But anyways, the Hammer is clearly my best gun, 2.11 KD, my highest gun. And I found that unusual because they just buffed that recently on, what, Tuesday or whatever the patch day was. That was the one light machine gun they chose to patch. And for me, that's my best gun in the entire game, let alone my best light machine gun. And then you got the SCAR and FAL right there at 1.81. That surprised me a lot. The SCAR, I really don't like it that much. However, once I unlocked stock and suppressor on it, I really liked it. If you haven't used it, you know, I'd recommend definitely getting to those attachments before you know, write it off completely. I mean, I did enjoy using it, but it wouldn't be my gun of preference. I'd probably choose the AN94 as my assault rifle. I don't like to use the FAL just because the reputation that it has, I guess. People always, you know, oh, fucking FAL. Not that that's ever bothered me before. I used to use the FAMAS like the entire time Black Ops 1 was out. And then you see the LSAT there with the 1.72 and the SWAT rounding out my top 5. Now, if you look at that top 5, other than the FAL, I don't really see people bitching about any of these guns, man. Like, it's assault rifles and LMGs there in my top 5. And really, this entire top 15 is like that. There's a couple snipers mixed in there and then the Peacekeeper, but, man, like... It's just not the same guns that you hear people bitching about all the time, or the guns that I do the best with. And like I said, that's why I said, you know, these are not representative of the entire community. But I encourage all of you guys to go out and check your Call of Duty Elite stats, and I bet that you'll be surprised at which guns you do the best with. And that maybe this is why we haven't seen too many big nerfs yet. You know, back when they were patching, you know, different things in the game a couple months ago, in the past few months, you know, everybody's like, why aren't they nerfing the SMGs? Why aren't they doing this? Why aren't they doing that? Well, if the majority of people's stats look like this, then they might not need to nerf them. I mean, the SMGs are overused. They're a rusher's tool. A lot of people like to run around and run and gun in Call of Duty, and SMGs are really good to run around and clear out small areas. They're not really good for long range and medium. Well, in this game, they're good for medium range, I feel like, but they're not your overall best weapon for every situation. And for me, that's overpowered. Like, if you can just use a gun in any situation and you're going to beat somebody, that's overpowered. I don't really feel like that's the case with the SMGs. And, you know, maybe the majority of the community stats look something like this. Maybe the SMGs aren't, you know, the best kill-death weapons out there. But like I said, man, kill-death ratio can't be the only factor. Obviously, with an SMG, you're going to be running around more than maybe laying back with a LMG or a sniper, or even an assault rifle. You're going to play more defensive than with an SMG. But let's keep on going down the list here. The SMR, AN94, M8. Like I said, man, assault rifles and the light machine guns, MK48 there. And here's the first sniper, the SVU. No surprise there, 1.63. That gun's a beast, man. But however, that gun, the stats for that can't really be, you know, used, I don't think, as far as I go, because those were all done in hardcore. You see, I only got 510 kills with it. All of those kills were in hardcore, pretty much. So, and the XPR I did do in core, so that's kind of legit there. LSW Type 25, Peacekeeper, and then there's my first shotgun, the S12. That surprised me a whole lot. I would have thought that I would have done best with the Remington, but the S12 is there. You know, rounding that out. And I'm going to switch over to the next page here so that, you know, I can go down the rest of the list. The M27, the MTAR, there is the Remington at 1.39, so not a huge margin, but a decent margin down from, you know, the S12. There's my MSMC, man, and the MP7 and PDW all lined up right there around 1.29, 1.27, something like that. Scorpion, Chickum, they're all right there in that little, you know, 0.04 separates all of those SMGs. And then the Vector's all the way down here at 1.09, as you can see. So, obviously for me, the SMGs are not overpowered. They're not the best guns because I don't do the best with them. You know, I can pull out some other kind of guns and do better. I think when you put that SMG in your hands, it just makes you run and gun more, so you're more likely to you're more prone to die. And then, let's see, the DSR's there, 1.24. The M1216, 1.23. The KSG, that surprised me. I would have thought that my kill death was better with the KSG, but it is a little inconsistent. That gun, man, it's like, it fires that one slug, so sometimes you can't get it to hit just right. I already talked about the Vector. The Ballista right there, that's my only gun that's below 1. So all you guys that bitch about that iron sights or whatever, you know, fuck you. I can't use it, obviously. Actually, I think the majority of the time I use it, I don't even have the iron sights attached to it. I haven't tried it out since they brought in the new patch, but I will. I'll actually be going back to using some of my favorite guns like the MP7 and the AN94 and things like that. Maybe even the TAR. I really did like using the TAR. That was probably my favorite assault rifle to use. It looks a lot like the Thunder Gun from Black Ops 1 Zombies. That's why I liked running with the TAR. But here's something I want to draw your attention to. Look at both of these pages. I'll kind of cycle back and forth here. I'll leave it on this page for now so that you can kind of see. Look at the last column, the red one. That's how many times you've been killed by each of these guns. And this is where you're going to see all the guns that you hear people complain about being overpowered and need to be nerfed. And that's why that's the difference between, I say, being overused and overpowered. Look at the PDW. That's the highest one on this entire list. Look at the MP7 up there just as well. MSMC, all of these are in the thousands. Okay, I'm going to go back to the last page now. And let's check these out. There you go. The Peacekeeper in the thousands. Like no other gun. AN94 is there at 985, which, like I said, that's my favorite assault rifle. And I think most people would agree that's the best automatic assault rifle. A lot of people like to use the FAL with like select fire and stuff. But yeah, man, I'm pretty sure that's, you know, the main thing. Like, you just die by the same guns constantly over and over. So your first thought is just, oh, this gun's overpowered. I fucking hate this gun. Why is it killing me? So I don't know, man. That's just kind of my thoughts. You guys be sure to check out your Call of Duty Elite stats and see, you know, how your guns stack up. And maybe you shouldn't be using SMG so much if you are. And, you know, maybe I'm just crazy. Maybe some of my thoughts are just ridiculous. I don't know. But you guys be sure to leave a comment. Let me know what you think. And I'll talk to you guys later. Y'all have a good day.